Blueberry and banana.
Oat loaf.
Have you washed your hands, Summer?
Yes.
Have you, Ben?
Yep.
Have you at home? Great, let's get started. Ben, tell me what utensils we need today.
So we need a grater, a sieve, some bowls, a
loaf tin.
A loaf tin.
That's right.
A spoon, a spatula, a
Pastry brush.
pastry brush. We got some cutlery, sharp knife, scissors, some measuring spoons, small bowls, weighing scales, and a juicer.
Summer, what ingredients have we got?
Milk, oil, self-raising flour, caster sugar,
Remember what these are?
oats,
Yeah, we've got some porridge oats. And then we have some...
eggs, some blueberries, bananas,
This is baking parchment.
orange, vanilla,
And last but not least, some
baking
powder. First things first, we need to preheat our oven. We need to put it on about 180 or 160 for a fan oven or gas smart 4. There we go. And Ben, I need you to help me line the loaf tin with some baking parchment. We need to just cover the bottom. We're going to use a bit of oil and a bowl. If you could put a teaspoon of oil in there for me, and then we can use our pastry brush just to paste the bottom of the oil with a little bit. Stops the paper sticking to it, and all around the edges too. There we go, let's give you a teaspoon, there we go. If you can just do that, you pour the oil into your spoon and pour it into the bowl. And then we need to cut round to get this piece of paper to fit the bottom of the loaf tin. In fact, I'm going to get you to do this. We need to pop it on the bottom. And you just kind of measure out a little bit so you know roughly how much you need. Does that look about right?
Yeah.
Yeah? If I can get you to try and snip that in a straight line all the way to the top, that'd be great. That's great, Summer, well done. And then I need you just to oil round the edges for me with your pastry brush, please, Ben. Fab work. All we're doing is greasing the loaf tin with a little bit of oil with our pastry brush. So we need to do around the edges, please, Ben. Not too much on the bottom, it's fine. Helps stop it from sticking when we're cooking it. Right, there we go, perfect, thanks, Ben. And Summer, do you want to do a little snip so it will fit the bottom of the tin for me? Straight across, as close as you can to the tin would be great. It'll fit snug as a bug. Brilliant, thank you. Do you want to pop that in for me? We're going to do it this way round, if that's okay. Oh, well done, thank you. So there we have our greased tin with our baking parchment in the bottom. We need to get Ben going first with the grating of the orange. Ben, can I get you to use a small grate for me? And all I want you to do is a couple of motions from top to bottom with the orange without taking the white of the pith from the orange, because that's the bitter bit, we don't want that. And then just give it a little turn round until you've done the whole orange.
Okay.
Okay? In the meantime, Summer, I'm going to get you to weigh out the flour for me. And we need 200 grams, so do you want to grab the flour and I'll grab you a spoon?
This one.
That's right. We're using self-raising flour to help the loaf rise. So you keep going till you see the 200. And then we're going to give that a sieve.
I'm giving you a haircut.
You're giving it a haircut. Brilliant. And then we need to add a teaspoon of baking powder. So pop that to the side for me. Lift the lid and then pop that in. Give it a tap on the side. Make sure we've got it all in. The next bit we need to do is sieve the flour and the baking powder. Can you tip it in for me? There we go. Tip it in. There we go. Hold the handle. And then you can tap the side using the palm of your hand. Lift it up a little bit, you'll get more air. There we go. Right, Ben, I'm going to get you to cut open the orange using your bridge. So we're going to make a tunnel with our hand. There we go. And then I want you to put your knife through. That's right. And slice it in half. There we go. Well done. That's great, Ben. There we have our two halves.
They're nice for eyes.
Now, can you give me the squeeze of the juice and then pop the juice into the bowl when it gets pretty full? How are you doing, Summer? We're nearly there. Great effort. You've sieved loads there, haven't you? Mm-hmm. There we go. Brilliant. Thank you, Summer. Just give your hands a little brush. Here we go. Ben, use your hand to hold this because then you're stabilising the actual juicer and it'll be a little bit more sturdy for him to be able to put that pressure on and give it that extra squeeze, won't it? There we go, loads of juice coming out of there now. Pop it in your bowl and you can get on to the next orange. Now we're going to measure our oats and sugar. Summer, we need 100 grams of oats. Could you pop them in for me? There we go, keep going. Well done, Ben. How are we getting on?
Good.
Good.
I hope.
Perfect. I think you've pretty much got all the juice out of those oranges. Nearly there. Good work. And we need 50 grams of the sugar. Take that back down to 0 again. Magic. Thank you, Summer. So we've got all our dry ingredients weighed out. We're going to give it a really good stir, making sure your spoon touches all the sides and at the bottom of the bowl too. So I'm going to move this out of the way because we're going to start mashing down our bananas. This recipe uses ripe bananas because they have more flavour and they're easier to mash. We're going to use a fork now to break it down. There we go, Summer. Can you have a go at doing that? You need to push down like that and give it a little mash. While Summer breaks down the bananas with her fork, I'm going to get Ben to break the eggs into the bowl. So we need a knife and 2 eggs. And then we're going to give them a whisk and break those up slightly too. So Ben, I need you to hold your egg between your finger and your thumb, and then we're going to use the back of a knife just to give it a little break into the bowl before we put them into our mixture. There we go. Do it over the bowl for me so you catch all the white. Over the bowl. Do you know how to put your thumbs in?
Yes.
Fab. When touching any raw egg, do make sure that you wash your hands straight away.
It's nice and gooey.
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go. Do you want to pass them to me? Let's go and wash our hands. Ben, we need to add the eggs and the zest now into the banana. Could you do that as I keep mixing? Ready? Tip it in.
Waterfall.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, it feels really nice.
Does it? Sprinkles. Look at this. It's starting to look a bit like a cake mixture, doesn't it? It will give a lovely texture through the orange and it will also give it that lovely colour too. We need to add 6 tablespoons of the oil now into this. We're going to keep the dry and wet ingredients separate. We don't want to activate the baking powder too soon. So you hold it for me. Count it for me, Ben. I might forget.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. 6.
Perfect. Thank you, Ben. Give it a mix up. We need to move the fork over and under the mixture until it's combined. Well done. We need to add a teaspoon of the vanilla. Can you give it a mix again? And then we're going to add the banana to the dry ingredients. Ben, I'm going to get you to do this bit. Thank you very much, Summer. So we have our wet mixture and our dry mixture, and we're going to combine them both. There we go. Do you want to mix it in? If I pour it, you can keep mixing. Hold onto the bowl with your other hand. That's perfect. There we go. Blop, 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 blop. There we go. Shake it all in. Perfect.
Oh, that smells nice.
Good mixing, Ben. Look at that. He's taking it all from around the sides and catching it from the bottom. If you turn it over as well and you take it from underneath and up and over, then you've really got the whole ingredients combined together. At this stage, we need to add 6 tablespoons of this orange juice. If you could do that for me, Ben. There we go. 1, 2. We've got a few dribblies, so we're making 3. We might just have enough.
4.
Oh, I'd never have guessed it.
6.
Can you mix that in then for me, please, Ben? There we go. So there we have our mixture all mixed together. What we need to do now is add 175 grams of the blueberries. Could you do that for me? Pop them through on the top. We're doing this last thing because we don't want the blueberries to break up too much, otherwise the juice will all come out and it will turn the cake purple. Perfect. We've got all the blueberries in the mixture. Now we need to get mixing. Summer, give it a really good stir so that the blueberries are all the way through the mixture. Fabulous, that's all mixed, brilliant. And now I'm going to use a spatula to put it into the loaf tin. Take it from all around the sides. Make sure we've got it all mixed through, and we're going to pour it into the loaf tin. There we go, it's all in. Look at that, Ben, are you impressed?
It looks yummy.
It looks great. So I'm going to pop this in the oven now for 45 to 50 minutes. Why don't you press pause whilst you do that too? We're going to take the loaf out of the oven using our gloves, and we're going to let it cool down in the tin for 10 minutes on a heat-proof board. We're going to take a cooling rack, and we have a little tip here. If it gets stuck, just turn it over on its bottom like that, or on the top, and give it a little tap, and voila! It's popped out. Wow, look at that.
Now that looks like something you want to eat.
That does, Ben, doesn't it? There we go, and we can turn it back again. And there we have it. One last thing we need to do before we eat it is put it on a lovely serving plate, ready to eat. So there we have it. Our lovely blueberry and banana loaf. If you'd like to have a go at another recipe, there are more cook-alongs for you to explore. We'd love to see what you've made. Take pictures and tweet them to @EatHappyProject, #Let'sCookAlong. We hope you've enjoyed yourself.